From NBA legends who beat tour pros to a rock star whose addiction cure was 36 holes a day, these are the 15 best celebrity golfers of all time. Slow motion running on a beach might get you noticed in Hollywood, but draining putts at Pebble Beach? That takes a completely different kind of talent. And Kelly Rohrbach has both. You probably know her as CJ Parker from the 2017 Baywatch movie, or from her Sports Illustrated swimsuit Rookie of the Year title in 2015. She's a model, she has acted in shows like 2.5 Men and Rizzoli and Isles, and she trained at the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art. Classic Hollywood trajectory. Except for one detail most people miss. Rohrbach was winning junior tournaments as a teenager, shooting 79 to claim the Junior Girls Open before most of us even knew what a handicap was. She earned a full golf scholarship to Georgetown University, played varsity for the Hoyas, and only stepped away from competitive golf because acting came calling. But fast forward to 2018, she was one of 9 women in the Pro-Am field, a record. In 2023, she missed the team tiebreaker by 1 shot. Oh, and she also played the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship. See? This isn't hobby golf. This is a former college athlete who never stopped being an athlete, just added movie star to the resume. You know him as the guy who can make a Pulp Fiction monologue feel like a religious experience, or as Nick Fury holding the Marvel Universe together with one eye and infinite attitude. Samuel L. Jackson has commanded every screen he's touched for decades. Mace Windu, Django Unchained, you name it. But did you know the man is absolutely obsessed with golf? Not just casual weekend rounds, but actually contractual obligations. Jackson literally writes into his film contracts that he gets to play golf twice a week while shooting. It's his reset button. Now, how good is he? Well, the first time he ever played St. Andrews, Jackson gets paired with Tiger Woods. Yes, that Tiger Woods, and shoots a 78. With his 16-shot handicap at the time, he beat Tiger by 8 strokes. Imagine the audacity of looking at one of the greatest golfers in history and saying, "Yeah, I got you today." But that's not all. He's also made an eagle on Augusta National's par 5 15th, plays regularly with Don Cheadle and George Lopez, and genuinely sees golf as a perfect game. No defense, no teammates to blame. Just you versus the course. When asked who the best celebrity golfer is, Jackson named Kenny G without hesitation. That's how plugged in he is. 7 Super Bowl rings, 2 decades of dominance, the greatest quarterback debate that will never actually end. Tom Brady built an empire on precision, preparation, and an almost psychotic will to win. But before all the championships and TB12 brand deals, he was working at golf courses in Michigan during college. Polo Fields Golf and Country Club and the University of Michigan Golf Course. He's now retired from the NFL, but not from sports. He carries an 8 handicap, which is solid for anyone, let alone someone who spent 20 years getting hit by linebackers. He's played the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am multiple times, including pairing with pro Keegan Bradley last year. He's competed in the match charity events, bringing that same competitive fire that made him torture NFL defenses for 2 decades. But being fair, his golf game isn't flawless. In the 2024 Pebble Beach Pro-Am, he hit this shot so wild it went viral. Turns out, even at an 8 handicap, the course still humbles you. He's admitted his game sits somewhere between poor and pitiful, which is either brutal honesty or classic Brady mind games. On top of that, he also launched a golf apparel line through his Brady brand, designed for performance and movement. Guess that is what you do when you're tired of throw passes. From Marky Mark to Hollywood heavyweight, Boogie Nights, The Departed, The Fighter, Transformers, and Ted? Anyway, Mark Wahlberg has built a career on intensity and work ethic. But the guy who made millions playing tough guys and a talking bear's best friend is absolutely obsessed with a game that most people consider relaxing. Golf, for Wahlberg, is anything but chill. He came to the game later in life and immediately got hooked. So much that he built a practice facility in his backyard. Like a whole thing with artificial turf, undulating greens, sand traps, all that. He even hosted a closest to the pin contest with pro golfer Abraham Ancer, who's also his business partner. This man also has a weird cardio routine when he's on set filming. Since he doesn't have time for leisurely 4-hour rounds, he sprints, literally sprints between shots, knocking out 18 holes in about an hour and 15 minutes. I bet he would hate being stuck with Kevin Na. Now, about how good he is, well, he's solid for someone who's also running a production company. acting in blockbusters and raising kids. And he uses golf for good. His foundation hosts charity tournaments like the Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational, raising money for kids in need. That's a great guy right here. This next is the whole package. Pop superstar, actor, producer. NSYNC legend turned solo icon. Justin Timberlake has dominated music and film for over 2 decades. But there's another side to him most people don't see. The side that owns a golf course, hosts a PGA Tour event, and plays at a level that would embarrass most weekend hackers. Timberlake learned golf from his dad growing up in Memphis. When the course where he first played was threatened by development, he and his family bought it outright just to save it. That's when the love started. In 2017 at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, he nearly aced the par 3 7th hole, then chipped in on the 17th. Moments like that don't happen by accident, but because you've put in the work, and it wasn't a surprise, in fact, just the year before. At the 2016 Pebble Beach Pro-Am, he was in the 3rd round, par 4 9th hole. Timberlake's approach shot leaves him 20 feet from the pin. 20 feet is no gimme, especially with cameras rolling and pros watching. Miss this and it's a bogey. Make it and you save par. He lines it up. Smooth, confident stroke. The ball rolls across the green, holds its line, and drops. Buried. Par saved. Play like that, Justin, and we'll forgive the 2000s ramen noodle look. What do you do after you've done almost everything? He is an Oscar-nominated actor, a rapper, a producer, and apparently a big slapper too.
Oh, wow! Wow!
Just kidding. But the Fresh Prince, who became one of Hollywood's biggest stars through Men in Black, Independence Day, Ally, and King Richard, really has done it all on screen. Will Smith's also a member of Sherwood Country Club in California and plays with a 15 handicap. Not tour level, but respectable. More importantly, he's serious about his equipment. He's been spotted using a PXG 0811X driver while playing with Bob Parsons, the founder of PXG at Scottsdale National. You don't pull out high-end gear like that unless you care about your game. He cares so much that he spends his time teaching his celebrity friends. There's this time when Smith was giving singer Jason Derulo a golf lesson. Simple backswing demonstration. Except Derulo's club came back too fast and smacked Will directly in the mouth, knocking out, or at least chipping, his 2 front teeth. Brutal, painful, absolutely hilarious in hindsight. He's also played rounds in Dubai with businessmen and pros, and when he met Rory McIlroy on a course there, McIlroy complimented his swing as pretty damn good. Coming from a 4-time major champion, that's not nothing. This guy's already a legend in another completely different sport. He is a 4-time NBA champion and the greatest shooter in basketball history. Steph Curry's basketball legacy is already cemented, and when he's not draining 30-footers, he's out on the golf course competing at a level that would make most amateurs quit. Curry started playing golf when he was 8 years old, riding in carts with his dad, Del Curry. By 13, he'd beaten his old man. Now he practices on a backyard, putting green, and plays to a +1 handicap. That means he's better than scratch. He even talked about turning pro when his basketball career ends. Not as a joke, like seriously. He showed it in July 2023 when, at the American Century Championship, Curry stepped up to the 152-yard par 3 7th hole. He selected his club, took his swing, and watched the ball fly. It landed on the green, rolled toward the pin, and dropped. Hole in one. But that wasn't even the best part. Final hole of the tournament. Curry needed an eagle to win. 1 shot to seal it. He striped his approach, rolled in the putt, and won the entire championship with a walk-off eagle. Can you become a legend in 2 sports at the same time? I don't know, but he could try if he wanted. This next star has a particular order of priorities. Wales, golf, Madrid. Yes, in that order. At least that's how Gareth Bale sees it. It was a statement people didn't take seriously at first, but behind it was a secret obsession, one that would follow him off the pitch and into a very different kind of arena. While he was still playing professional football at the highest level, Bale was already building a mini golf course at his home in Wales. He built replica par 3 holes modeled after TPC Sawgrass's Island Green, Royal Troon, and Augusta National. Then he retired from football in 2023. Most athletes take time off, relax, maybe do some commentary work. Bale? He immediately signed up for the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. His debut? joint 16th in the amateur section. Not bad for someone who'd just hung up his cleats. Since retiring, Bales cut his handicap down to 0.1. That's essentially scratch. Rory McIlroy praised his game publicly, saying he could legitimately reach 0 with more work. And yet, Bale's been honest, saying that he's 100% sure he can't go pro. But maybe it's just a matter of time he's even a playable character in PGA Tour 2K23. The guy went from football superstar to golf personality without skipping a beat. Turns out that flag was a prophecy. All right. Let's talk about McConaughey and golf. Before he was winning Oscars for Dallas Buyers Club or starring in True Detective, Matthew McConaughey was a kid in Texas raking bunkers on a golf course. That's where it started. His brother Pat taught him how to visualize his swing, especially after Matthew broke his foot and had to rebuild his mechanics. That kind of patience, that grind, stuck with him. And so golf became something he could return to no matter how chaotic life got. In fact, a casting director bonded with McConaughey over golf, and that connection helped him land his breakthrough role in Dazed and Confused. Golf literally opened the door to Hollywood for him. Over the years, he's made 4 holes in 1. And that's not luck, but decades of playing, practicing, staying connected to the game. He's appeared on Faherty walking Spanish Oaks Golf Club, talking about life and golf like they're inseparable. He's shown up at the Rio Olympics to walk the course with Ricky Fowler, just soaking in the spirit of competition. McConaughey described this game as the toughest and most intriguing game. Simple when it's going well, brutally difficult when it's not. And he keeps coming back to it year after year because that challenge is the point. There's a guy at Pebble Beach who shows up every year, lies on the ground mid-round, tosses clubs like frisbees, and once hit a shot without even looking at the ball. And somehow, he's become one of the most beloved figures in celebrity golf history. Bill Murray, Ghostbusters legend, Groundhog Day icon, lost in translation, Oscar nominee, but to golf fans, he'll always be Carl Spackler from Caddyshack. The groundskeeper obsessed with a gopher. That role cemented him in golf culture forever, and he's never left. Murray's a fixture at the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, returning year after year like it's a personal pilgrimage. He's played in the Alfred Dunhill Links Championship in the UK, teamed up with Clint Eastwood in the 3M Celebrity Challenge, and competed on Pebble's Whiskey Run holes for charity. But it's not the competition that makes him unforgettable. It's everything else. In 2022, he made a no-look shot during a Pebble Beach event. Didn't even glance at where he was aiming. Just swung, tossed the club, and walked away like it was nothing. Oh, that Bill Murray energy. He's goofed around with fans, interacted with players, and turned every round into a performance, but he loves it. And he makes sure everyone around him does too. Can you imagine a rock star in full spaceman makeup trading his guitar for a golf club? That's Tommy Thayer, lead guitarist for Kiss. He's spent decades living the rock and roll dream in front of thousands, but offstage, he's golfing. Thayer calls himself an avid golfer, and that's underselling it. He actually hosts the Pacific University Legends Golf Classic, a charity tournament that's raised serious money for the university's athletics program. In 2011 alone, his event brought in major funding, proving that rock stars can swing clubs just as effectively as they swing guitars. He's also played in the Rock and Roll Golf Classic in Arizona alongside Alice Cooper, blending 2 worlds that don't usually overlap, hard rock and country club fairways. It's a weird combo, but it works. The Hire's proven that you can love both without picking a side. With that same philosophy, he helped launch a KISS-branded indoor mini golf course in Las Vegas called Monster Mini Golf. Glow-in-the-dark holes. KISS iconography everywhere. It's absurd and perfect. Exactly what you'd expect from a band that's never done anything halfway. Rock star by night, charity golfer by day. Tommy Thayer's living proof that you can shred on stage and on the green. After 8 Grand Slam titles and being a world #1, Yvonne Lendl needed a new obsession, one that didn't involve rackets or clay courts. So golf became his second career. But not in a casual way. Lendl attacked it the way he attacked tennis, with relentless focus and an insane work ethic. He played 300 rounds in a single year at one point. And it paid off. He dropped his handicap all the way down to scratch. 0. That's professional-level amateur golf. And he didn't stop there. Lendl started competing in senior golf tournaments and even pro-level events, testing himself against real competition. and even played in Gary Player Invitational Pro-Ams, rubbing shoulders with legends from both tennis and golf. But the beautiful twist is that his daughters picked up the game too. Does the name of amateur golfer Isabel Lendl ring a bell? Exactly, and Lendl shifted his focus from his own rounds to supporting theirs. He went from playing 300 rounds a year to spending more time caddying, coaching, and watching from the sidelines. In recent years, he's even gotten into pickleball, proving he can't sit still. But golf remains a constant. He still competes in club level and mini tour events and shows up at charity tournaments. Now, what comes after 6 rings and 5 MVPs? Yes, we're talking about the most ruthless competitor basketball has ever seen. Michael Jordan spent his entire career destroying opponents with intensity and an unshakable will to win. Then he retired and realized something terrifying. He had nothing left to conquer. So he found golf. He fell in love so badly that he built Grove 43, a super exclusive private club in Hobe Sound, Florida. Invite only, completely controlled by him. The course is designed around his preferences, speed of play, layout, everything tailored to his vision. And just in case you had any doubt, yes, he competes, and he takes it seriously. He plays with pros like Ricky Fowler and places massive bets on matches. Ryan Whitney, a former NHL player, said Jordan is ruthless with his trash talk on the course, especially when someone misses. PGA champion Xander Schauffele admitted that Jordan beat him straight up in a head-to-head match. Schauffele tried to trash talk MJ on the back 9 during Jordan's stroke holes. Big mistake. Jordan went silent, locked in, then birdied 15 and 16 with no strokes, and won the match outright. A professional golfer, beaten by a 61-year-old basketball legend. Because when Michael Jordan needs to win, he finds a way, always. You might know this one like the godfather of shock rock. His shows had everything from guillotines on stage to snakes wrapped around his neck. Alice Cooper built a career on theatrical chaos and hard-living rock and roll. And it almost killed him. Alcohol addiction nearly destroyed everything he'd built. His salvation involved a course and some clubs. After quitting drinking, Cooper needed something to fill the void. Time, he said, is an alcoholic's worst nightmare. You can't just sit around thinking. You need structure, purpose. So he picked up clubs and started playing every single day. Sometimes 36 holes a day for an entire year, always with club pros grinding to get better. And it worked. He's now a 4 handicap who plays 6 days a week. Cooper plays in celebrity Pro-Am events, including ESPN's ESPI Classic. He's appeared in PGA Tour celebrity spotlight videos. Last year, he even launched a golf radio show on Sirius XM PGA Tour radio with pro golfer Rocco Mediate called Rolling the Rock. The guy who used to bite the heads off fake bats is now hosting golf radio. This one is a clear example of how some choices can save your life, and he tells his entire story in the book Golf Monster, his autobiography that ties his onstage persona to his off-course life. Next, you'd think retiring from the NFL would calm someone down. That usually happens to everybody but Tony Romo, Dallas Cowboys quarterback, CBS broadcaster, 3-time American Century Championship winner. Tony Romo just looked at golf and basically said, "Yeah, let's do this." Romo's won the American Century Championship 3 times, 2018, 2019, and 2022. In 2019, he led wire to wire, dominating the field. In 2022, he won in a playoff against Mark Mulder and Joe Pavelski, birdieing the second playoff hole to seal it. He donated all his winnings to charity, $125,000 to the Stowers Institute after one victory. But he's aiming way higher than celebrity tournaments. He's actually tried to qualify for the US Open, picked up sponsor exemptions into PGA Tour events like the Corrales Punta Cana Championship, and committed to the Invited Celebrity Classic on the Champions Tour, going up against pros who've spent their whole lives out there. It shouldn't be a surprise since one of his friends is Scottie Scheffler, the current world #1 golfer. Yeah, the man has played over 500 rounds with him. Scheffler himself admitted that Romo beat him once. In match play, not stroke play, but still took his money.